Hello everyone and welcome to another webinar from the Wealth Building CPA. I'm your host Yasmin Razak and it's my pleasure today to chat to our client of the month, Mr. Dwight Miller. Thanks for joining us, Dwight.
Oh, you're very welcome. Hello everyone. Okay.
I'll just say a little bit about Dwight before we get into the questions. So Dwight is a managing partner at United Development Properties LLC in California. He is also a 3-year-long wealth building client. So thank you for doing this. We love to share our success stories of our clients. He's a former high school teacher and basketball coach. Then he developed his knowledge and expertise in real estate and eventually found his niche marketplace in notices of defaults, probates, and driving for dollars, in which he is now a growing real estate consultant/investor. He also credits the wealth building team for helping him to grow his business. Now, before we get into the interview, here's a little bit about Ebere Okoye and her services for those of you who are looking to focus on building wealth. Ebere is a CPA and an active real estate investor and the founder of Wealth Building CPA. She owns real estate investments in 5 states across the Eastern Coast, and her company has helped over 5,000 people like you prepare their taxes online and offline. Her greatest joy comes from helping clients, friends, and associates become free of financial stress. Let Ebere and her team make your financial life more profitable and book a free consultation at the number on the screen. Okay, Dwight, welcome.
Yes.
How are you today?
Welcome. Oh, I'm fantastic. I'm great. I'm up. I'm always looking to the best, counting on the best, believing for the best, and going out and make the best happen.
That's great to hear, particularly in 2020. We need all the positivity we can get. Okay, so you had an interesting introduction. Basically, you went from being a high school teacher and a basketball coach, and then you decided to get into real estate. What triggered your interest and passion for real estate investing?
Well, I was looking for a second income, and a guy, I met him at a luncheon. It was a luncheon out in the valley, San Fernando Valley, and he said he was a real estate trainer, and he invited me to his home. I didn't know what a trust deed was. I didn't know what a forbearance agreement. I didn't know anything. And so he took me by the hand. He trained me. He was a Vietnam veteran. He was a computer consultant, technologist. And he took me by the hand. We went to several counties. He said, okay, this is what I want you to do. This is what I want you to read. And so he trained me over, say, maybe a couple of years. And then I said, well, I like this real estate stuff. And so I began to study every book, every seminar that I can get my hands on. And so there's something that I kind of gravitated to. I liked it, and I began to learn a little bit about it. And over the years, my knowledge grew, and I continued to study, continued to go to every seminar I could go to. And that's how I got started. Are you still there?
Okay, thanks. Could you tell us about the very first deal you ever did?
Okay, the very first deal I ever did was in Long Beach, California. It was a probate. And it was the trustees responded as a result of a mailer. And they called me off my letter. And they said my father had passed away. No one had lived in the house in about 10 years. We're in probate. We have an attorney. Could you help us? I said, great. I never try to sell anything or try to get someone to sign a contract over the telephone. I just said, I really appreciate you calling me. When can I meet you at the house? And we set up an appointment. We met at the house. We walked through the house, just building rapport, not talking about any numbers or the attorney, just getting them to feel comfortable with me. And so that deal in Long Beach, California, probate, was my very first deal. I had to work consistently with the trustees, the family, and the attorney for about a year, and one of my most trusted investors. And at the end of the year, we met with we were consistent. Every month we would talk, we would, put the numbers together, and we signed an early contract, but we couldn't finalize it until the probate was finished. So they honored our initial agreement. And after a year of hard work, meeting with the family, meeting with the attorney, hand in hand with my investor, who's still my investor, who we do a lot of deals with to this day, we closed escrow. And on that, and I made about $20-some thousand, and that was my very first deal. That was about almost a couple of years ago.
Okay, that's quite a story, and you were very patient to work with the family. Obviously, when it's probate, you're dealing with emotional issues as well. People are grieving, and the probate process can be quite, cumbersome and complicated. That's so right. you stuck in there, and it was worth your while, and you got your payday. So well done on that.
That's right.
Tell us about some of the deals that you've been doing ever since that, and maybe share a story of what your biggest deal has been.
Okay, well, I've been, since then, I was a very consistent, regular member of my local RIA, going to all the meetings, mostly taking those, growing, networking, building my sphere of influence, investors, title people, attorneys, contractors. And one of my biggest deals, I'm pretty sure, Jess, you did mention that, was a buildable commercial lot that was referred to me by a broker friend of mine. And it was a buildable commercial lot. We contracted with the owner on the property, and I wholesaled it. I was able to get one of my investors to agree, and I wholesaled that property within 30 days. And this has been my biggest deal to date. My wholesale cut was $50,000. And
wow.
We closed it in 30 days. This was a builder. Matter of fact, this is the same broker, investor, builder who bought our probate deal in Long Beach. It was the same guy. So the keeping good relations with the investors and the title people and brokers that you come in contact is very, very important, because you never know when they're going to be able to do the next deal with you.
Absolutely. A lot of this business is about relationships. So you seem to have done well. That's an incredible payday. 50 grand in 30 days. Wow.
Yeah, 50 grand. Yeah.
Wouldn't you like to repeat that 12 times a year?
And it's out there. Yes,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Just have to persevere. So what, obviously, you make it sound so easy, but we know it's not that easy. What have been some of the challenges you faced, and how did you overcome them?
Well, yeah, and that's a good question. And I appreciate that question, because you have to get up, like we had to meet inspectors 7 o'clock in the morning. And we have to, a lot of, like in the contract, you have to negotiate with the seller and the buyer sometimes. And they want different things in the contract. They want to change vesting. And so you have to stay on top of it, get a really good investment-minded escrow company, because a lot of escrow companies sometimes are not familiar as you would like them to be with the investment arena and how things are supposed to flow and go. Early on, as I mentioned in my in my real estate journey summary, I would find a lot of deals because I started in the trustee sales and I sort of went to notices of default because it gives you more time to build a relationship with the property owners and but I ran into a bunch of early on in my career and I've sort of put that aside, but it was a challenge for me for a handful of years where I would refer deals, find deals. I worked from several lists and have to go in, take a look at, equity, condition of the property, motivation of the owner. You got to look at all these things to see if the deal is going to be good enough to either wholesale or to either buy, rehab, and fix. So I can remember I referred a lot of deals to a lot of brokers, and it took me about 2 or 3 or 4 months to say, well, I'm referring 20 deals a month. Where are the deals at? And it dawned on me that they were just using me to provide them deals, and they would go out and remarket them. So that was one big challenge I got over in my early days. So you just gotta don't let any one particular hurdle or one particular challenge stop you. You got to continue to try to network, weed out the people that don't share your vision and don't share your worth ethic, and to continue going and believe in what you're doing, and you'll eventually get into a group of serious minded investors that are share your vision, share your marketplace, and things will beginning to jump off for you.
Okay, well, that's great that you were able to learn quickly and move on with that and not keep repeating that mistake of being taken advantage of, which unfortunately does happen. Yeah, and talking of challenges, we've all been hit by the virus this year, 2020. How has it affected your business?
That's a good question. When the coronavirus and the pandemic and the scare first hit, it was pretty devastating because you couldn't go outside, but you couldn't, but see, I'm a pioneer. I put my mask on, I put my gloves on. My family was saying, don't go out, don't go out. And I say, okay, I respect you. I respect everything you're telling me, and I love your advice. So, but I had to go out anyway. I had to go out. I had to leave letters. I had to knock doors. I stayed my 15 feet away, and to keep the momentum, because I knew, although people, they had suspended evictions, so you couldn't foreclose on properties, lenders began to increase their requirements or even back off. It was a tough, the first handful of months, it was a tough time, but I knew that if I continued to work through that whole situation, not to mention that the Wealth Building CPA, ABIRE, and OB, and the whole professional team, they sort of came to my rescue. They were instrumental in getting my PPP, Paycheck Protection Program loan approved. They were very instrumental in guiding me and saying the right thing to the Small Business Administration and getting a nice SBA loan approved. So this is some powerful stuff to get me through that, got me through that time. And sure enough, okay, because I continue to lay seeds, I continue to talk to people, I continue to mail letters, I continue to talk to my realtors, and the deals started to come through, even during this pandemic period, and we have like 3 deals in escrow right now that we're working on closing.
Okay, well, you did mention ABIRE, and that was going to be my next question, which is how has a Wealth Building CPA helped you, and why would you encourage other business owners to use ABIRE tax and financial services?
Okay, Wealth Building CPA has been basically a blessing, and I'm so thankful to the referral from Janine and able to work with the Wealth Building CPA. They formulated my and organized and filed for my LLC. So they structured my business, and I'm an LLC now as a result of Wealth Building CPA. They utilize latest technology and tax planning strategies and consultation. If they have effective communication, it is tailored to meet my needs or the individual needs of the business owner. So of where I'm trying to go. And so I'm so thankful. They file my taxes every year. I'm a Plan A customer for the last 3 years. And I can go on and on. The monthly newsletter that they put out, it's just a godsend that I was able to connect with this company who's very knowledgeable, who return calls, the basic stuff, and then can take it to another level. And so with that said, I hope that sort of gives you a tidbit of how the Wealth Building CPA has helped me.
Oh, that's a wonderful testimonial. Thank you so much, Dwight.
Thank you.
Okay, so before we wrap this up, would you like to let us know what you're working on, or what's the future for United Development Properties? Where do you see yourself going?
There you go. Well, I've aligned myself with a company that does the Facebook marketing. I have to go technological. I've aligned myself with another company that I'm doing ongoing seminars and webinars with these companies to get my knowledge level up, getting all my material together. I got the money. So with streaming, Facebook marketing, and also I've hooked up with a broker who was a part of our local RIA here, and I've known him for about 5 years. So I finally decided to go add him to my team. And I'm in investor relations, and he's doing a lot of heavy investing in the Cleveland, Ohio area, where the out of state, the prices are not so high. You get good rental in that Cleveland, Ohio area and surrounding communities is a good area to go in to get your cash flow and to get good investments like that. So I see myself growing in technology to help my business get that all set up, and maybe start investing out of state and continue to align myself with the Wealth Building CPA organization and believe for growth in the area of real estate investment.
That's great. And for listeners who would like to either bring you deals, do joint ventures, or just get to know you on a business level, what's the best way for them to get in touch?
Okay. Well, the best way to get in touch with me, you can email me at dwightmiller2000 at Yahoo, or you can call me because I'm up at from 8 in the morning to 8 at night every day. Sundays I kind of take off and give a little praise, but my phone number is 323-677-3047, and I want to give it back at this point to Jazz, because she's done such a superlative job in getting my pictures and designing this Zoom presentation, and you can see some of my before and after pictures. It's real. So thank you very much, Jess.
Oh, you're welcome. It was my pleasure. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to share your inspiring story today. And I'm sure we're going to hear from you doing great things in the future, and we wish you continued success. Thanks, Dwight.
Great. Thank you.